everything.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله رب العالمين. All praise is due to Allah, Lord of the worlds. الحمد لله القوي المتين والصلاة والسلام على من بعث بالسيف رحمة للعالمين. أما بعد. All praise is due to Allah on the eve of Ramadan, because we are not so far from it, and Ramadan is the blessed month, this month in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed the Quran, this month in which Allah commanded that we should fast, this month in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has He made a night, He designated a night. Laylatul Qadr falls in this month in which many victories and conquests of this ummah occurred and battles took place. This is the month that we're talking about. The Battle of Badr took place in Ramadan.
Make sure you don't mention me, huh?
The battle of the conquest of Mecca took place in Ramadan. So this is a significant month. Many events, many conquests and victories happened in this month. So I'm going to play some Quran, some verses of the Quran about this month, and there'll be an explanation of the meaning as well, inshallah.
يا أيها الذين آمنوا كتب عليكم الصيام كما كتب على الذين من قبلكم لعلكم تتقون أياما معدودات فمن كان منكم مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر وعلى الذين يطيقونه فدية طعام مسكين فمن تطوع خيرا فهو خير له وأن تصوموا خير لكم إن كنتم تعلمون شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان مريضا أو على سفر فعدة من أيام أخر يريد الله بكم اليسر ولا يريد بكم العسر ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون وإذا سألك عبادي عني فإني قريب أجيب دعوة الداعي إذا دعاني فليستجيبوا لي وليؤمنوا بي لعلهم يرشدون أحل لكم ليلة
So those were some verses from the Quran in which Allah instructed and commanded us to fast in the month of Ramadan. And then there will be an explanation of the meaning. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is saying, O you who believe, this is from chapter Baqarah, verse 183 to 185. O you who believe, observing fasting is prescribed for you, as it was prescribed for those before you, that you may become from the God conscious. Observing fasting for a fixed number of days, but if any of you is ill or on a journey, the same number should be made up from other days. And as for those who can fast with difficulty, they have to feed a miskin. But whoever does good of his own accord, it is better for him. And that you fast is better for you if you only know. Subhanallah. Allah knows about us and that how we should fast. Allah knows that fasting is good for us and there's benefit to us. And He's telling us in here that to fast is better. The month of Ramadan in which was revealed the Quran, a guidance for mankind and a clear proof for the guidance and the criteria. So whoever of you cites the month, he must observe fast that month. And whoever is ill or on a journey, the same number from other days. The same number are made up from other days. Allah intends for you ease, and He does not want to make things difficult for you. He wants that you must complete the same number and that you must magnify Allah for having guided you so that you may be grateful to Him. And when my slaves ask you concerning me, then answer them, I am indeed near. I respond to the invocations of the supplicant when he calls on me. So let them obey me and believe in me so that they may be led aright. So this was the verses that I played on about the command to fast. And I want to just go through a few ahadiths about the virtues of Ramadan and fasting in Ramadan. So the Prophet ﷺ said, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ said, whoever fasts Ramadan out of faith and in hope of reward, his previous sins will be forgiven. Sahih al-Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. The Prophet Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu said that the Prophet Muhammad ﷺ, he said, whoever spends the night of Ramadan in prayer out of faith and in hope of reward, his previous sins will be forgiven. Fasting is an atonement for the sins. Siyam, Qiyam, the Salat al-Layl, Qiyam al-Layl, the Salat al-Tarawih is also an atonement for the sins. Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu reported that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, when Ramadan comes, the gates of paradise are opened, and the gates of hell are closed, and the devils are chained up. Sahih Bukhari and Sahih Muslim. Another evidence to show that fasting Ramadan is an atonement for sins. The Prophet ﷺ said the 5 daily prayers from one Jumu'ah to the next and from one Ramadan to the next are expiation for the sins committed between them, so long as you avoid major sins. These are the minor sins. This hadith is in Sahih Muslim. And also, the Quran was sent in this month. So, we should make effort, inshallah, to read the Quran and to read as much of it. Because the Prophet ﷺ will have Jibreel every night of Ramadan in which he would read the Quran. And this is in Sahih Bukhari and in Sahih Muslim. And also, Itikaf is in this month, and Umrah as well is encouraged in this month. And the reward of fasting. Is there a reward for fasting? Because there is a hadith of Qudsi where the Prophet, Allah tells us about how fasting is for his slave, and he will reward that person, that fasting person. And this is in a Sahih hadith. So Allah kept the reward of fasting for himself, and he will reward it. And also the shayateen is chained. The gates of paradise are open and the gates of hellfire are closed in this month. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is going to be a short reminder, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the tawfiq to be from the sa'imeen and the qa'imun, those who fast and those who pray. and those who recite the Quran, and those who do, and yusari'una fil khayrat, those who compete in doing the good deeds. You know, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant us steadfastness and sincerity and accept it from us, because this is an act of ibadah, an act of worship that should be done exclusively to Allah, mukhlisina lahuddin, sincerely devoted to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And we should remember that also in Turkmenistan or in China, the Muslims that are rounded up and in the camp, concentration camp, are prohibited from fasting. They are prohibited, subhanallah. They are forced to eat and drink in the days of Ramadan. And this is, I mean, they will have no excuse. They will have, they have an excuse of ikra, because they are forced or compelled. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate their plight, because it is a very detrimental, devastating situation that we face, as how parts of this ummah are deprived, are prevented from fulfilling an obligation, a duty, or an act of worship. The imams need to come out and speak out against this. You need to come out and rally the Muslims, rally the ummah against the various oppressions, dhulm upon this ummah.
What channel was this? Terror TV?
This is COE. Why interrupt it?
Terror TV now with you on it.
Anyway, you know, this is the situation that we're facing, and that this ummah needs to be aware of how certain people of this ummah are being deprived. And yes, the imams around the masajid,
Deprived of knowledge, bro.
the imam, may Allah guide you, because you're misguided. So the imams need to raise up and arouse the ummah, and waken up the ummah to how the Muslims are facing oppression. How can we just, you know, especially you as an imam, a khatib, in the masajids, or so-called masajids, if they are truly masjids, because that is another question. Or are they just places of prayer? Because then how can you allow Taghut MPs to come and rally in your so-called masjid? It's the house of Allah. How can you conceal the bayinat, the ayat from the people? Conceal the knowledge from the people? You know? Subhanallah, how can we do this? So we need to be aware and make dua for the ummah and the victory for this ummah. And make dua for ourselves, and may Allah keep us steadfast and firm and grant us sincerity. Because this is the best month. Laylatul Qadr as well falls in this month. And whoever catches Laylatul Qadr, whoever catches it, he will be rewarded for worshipping Allah for 1,000 months, which is equivalent to 83 years and the 4 months. This deen, no matter whether we or I strive or not, will prevail by Allah's permission. No matter how much the disbelievers plot and plan against it. And that this ummah will return to being masters and rulers and leaders around the world, leaders of the globe. And this is a promise to us. And those of you who are hesitating, procrastinating, or waiting, those of you who have belief, who believe that Islam is the truth, but you're holding back, you need to make the decision quickly, hasten to be from the Muslimin and to live a life of honor and dignity. Live a life honored by Islam. Live a life of tawheed and worshipping Allah Azza wa Jal. And be from this triumphant ummah, because this ummah is promised victory. You may think, oh, why are the Muslims suffering? There's oppression, there's this. Where's Allah's help? A'udhu billah, Allah's testing and trying us. But we must believe with certainty, with conviction that victory is promised to us. And we believe so, and I believe so. Allah's going to test us. Sifting. Allah's going to sift between the believers and the hypocrites. The truthful, the sadiq and the kadhib. The truthful and those who are fake. And we see it happening. We see it in the park. Many people fake and exposed. Who are the truly sincere ones, da'is, here in the park? How many of them, they want to present Islam in a way that it does not, is not controversial. It's not going to be upset the disbelievers. Oh, we don't want to upset them. It's not to water down. We have to be open and honest with the deen. Because there is a hadith that is sahih, that the Sahaba, radiallahu anhu, he said in the hadith, an authentic hadith, that we were ordered to speak the truth wherever we are and not fear the blame of the blamers. And this is one of the attributes of firqatun najiyah, ta'ifa mansura. La yadurruhum man khadhalahum aw man khalafahum. They are not harmed by those who abandon them, nor by those who oppose them. They are ta'ifa of being firm upon the orders of Allah. And in other narrations, they are ta'ifa of jihad and fighting fi sabilillah. This is what has come to us in the hadith, authentic hadith. And there is no doubt about this. So may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala help and aid this ummah and grant us victory and show us His signs and help and support us everywhere. And I wish you, all the Muslims, a blessed Ramadan, and may Allah accept it from us and from myself and you. And don't forget this ummah, make dua as well for this ummah. And whoever can do whatever more, then yeah, inshallah, go for it, inshallah, within your capability. Wa sallallahu ala sayyidina wa nabiyyina Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. And I would like to offer my condolence to DJ Riza for giving me the platform in order to spread Islam. No matter how much the people despise and hate me and blame him for it, why are you giving me platform? Like, who are you to dictate to him and tell him what to do? He can choose whomsoever he films. He films the worst of people that come here, but you don't have a problem with that. I speak Islam. I don't call for kufr or for shirk or for bid'ah. Everything I say is within Quran and Sunnah. Tell me what I say is not in Quran and Sunnah. And you want to slander me and call me from the Khawarij and the Khariji? Okay then, I'm going to offer you this. If this is your stance, be prepared for the consequences of it. Be prepared to back it up. And I'm ready. You know what is the hukum of the Khawarij? You know the hukum of the Khawarij? What are you waiting for, man? That's why I take you guys, that's why I take you guys not serious and jokers, man. And may Allah humiliate and deal with those who call me and my brothers Khariji and expose them and either guide them or punish them in ways they couldn't imagine. And that they should realize, hold on, this is what the brother is saying. He's probably made this dua because of my slander upon him. And it's slander, isn't it? I can't be calling him, man, making tabdi on me when you don't have evidence. It's ridiculous. So stop going to DJ Riza, all you Muslims. Some of you, let's be real about it. Madkhalis, the so-called Salafis that come here, they come to DJ Riza and start questioning. Why are you filming him? Why are you giving him platform? Stop doing that. Stop doing that, man. You've got your own channel. You've got your own film crew. Go to them, innit? I don't come to your crew, so it shouldn't bother you. Stop going to him and telling him what to do. You may advise, but don't keep being persistent. And yeah, you have double standards, because now you're telling him don't film this person, but when he films the Rafida or far right, you don't have a problem with that. And this is a problem that you have. So shame on you. Shame on you. And may Allah grant victory to Islam and Muslims. and Islam will dominate the world bi-idhnillahi wa ta'ala. La ilaha illallah, Muhammadur Rasulullah. Victory for Islam and Muslims. Oh, so this is me.
Content over everything. Content over everything. From your belly.
Come, man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
To defend it.
Listen.
But when they hear some of the things the Prophet did, they don't know how to program it, how to process it. Because they see in their mind that he was a wicked man. But they can't say it openly. Why? Because they would have to become an apostate. They would have to leave Islam. And what is the penalty for leaving Islam? Death by the Muhammad, their false prophet. Muhammad had them in bondage, saying, don't you dare leave, because other Muslims will kill you.